And you're asking the Department of Justice to investigate NGOs like Catholic Charities and the Red Cross for what you say is basically facilitating illegal immigration. I want to mention, too, I know last year you and Congressman Lance Gooden asked the DOJ to investigate the Red Cross for giving instructional packets to migrants in Mexico and even showing how they can safely jump on trains, and also a self-care guide of sorts that included how to obtain contraceptives. Now, one packet said that traveling seated on a train is mostly recommended, and also warned them to be careful of branches and electric cables. These are some of the things that were given to migrants in Mexico, allegedly from the Red Cross. Now, last year, the Red Cross provided a statement that stated it does not prevent nor encourage migration, but that it's strictly a humanitarian objective for them. They wrote, "We provide information about ways to reduce risk and where to find life-saving assistance in Mexico and Central America." They wrote, "It is essential to prevent the loss of lives and to promote a humanitarian approach. Addressing the needs of this vulnerable population is a shared responsibility of the authorities in the countries of origin, transit, and destination, and of the international community." This is directly from the Red Cross. So let's talk about the role then of these NGOs when we're talking about illegal immigration. Is this a violation of federal law?
I believe it is. When you are facilitating an illegal act, that is against the law. And that's why myself, Representative Gooden, and others have really begun to highlight this. I mean, we know all about the damage fentanyl is doing with the fentanyl poisonings, the human trafficking, the terrorists coming in. But a critical link in this chain is the NGOs. And they're part of that pull, Jan. They're the pull that brings people to America. If you know you have the transportation, if you know you're going to get the food and shelter, we saw blankets with Catholic Charities and American Red Cross on them at that migrant camp. If you know you have all those things, why not come to America? The process has been industrialized over the last 3 years with many people and organizations working to make this happen that are critical links in the chain. But the NGOs, in many ways, are not any different than the cartels and the United Nations in facilitating this happening.
And the Red Cross, as they put it on their website, they say they have a unique relationship with the federal government because they are nonprofit, they are tax exempt, but they have this legal status of this federal instrumentality helping to provide disaster relief. We know they support FEMA, they help support the military, they fulfill provisions of the Geneva Conventions. So when you look at something like this, how much of our taxpayer dollars are going toward these causes?
Just the Casa Elitis in Tucson, just one of them, in October of last year, received over $1 million for a line item that was in regards to transportation out of state. So they're getting millions of dollars. And at the end of the day, when you look at all of them, Jan, there's billions of dollars that is going to this. Do they have a unique relationship with the federal government? Do they ever? They're profiting off from this human trafficking that's going on. Perhaps the largest human trafficking operation in the history of the world since the slave trade 300 to 400 years ago.
So how can we hold them accountable? How do you want to hold the Red Cross accountable then if that's the case?
Well, I think for people that saw the video down in Tucson after our hearing when I was at Casa Elitis, I think we should have hearings on this. That's the first step. I've asked Chairman Jordan of the Judiciary Committee, let's have hearings in regards to the NGOs. Let's bring them in, ask them, how are you spending the money on this? How are you actually using this money to facilitate illegal immigration here in America? And I believe the answer is yes, but they should be coming before us. So this is exposed to the American people, and they once again know the full breadth of how illegal immigration is damaging America.
It's a story we're going to follow. Congressman Tiffany from the great state of Wisconsin. Great to have you on this morning. Thanks so much for joining us.